Hello, 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 my glorious audience. It is I, the fantastical, the bombastical, the gloriously thick Carter Nevermelt.
Okay.
Man!
and I and I am Erica Ironblood, your co-host. I
Yes.
could be your angel, but I'd rather be a devil.
And this is.
Sorry, I don't feel the need to build myself up as as Kella does.
Well, in all fairness, this is more just to make it more whimsical, as it were. But anywho,
Eh.
hi, Spirit. Now, this is
Greetings, Spirit
episode.
Halloween.
This is
Hmm.
episode 11. And
Hmm.
today's episode, boys and girls,
7-Eleven
is.
is very popular in Japan.
Nani? Why is that?
I don't know. But essentially, it's a very common convenience store, which is why you see a lot of them in various Japanese anime, or like a parody of it,
I
like a
see.
12-8 or a 13-9, 9-13 or whatever, or maybe or a 6-10.
Or a 69. Hoo! Ah!
That never mind.
Yes. But anywho, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going old school. We're going to the classics, the days of old,
Class is in
ancient.
session on Anime Network's Old School.
But yes, back in
Don't be a sucker. Old school on that. Shit. Sorry.
cringe.
There was sorry in the Anime Network, which was the so ADV had for a little bit had a cable channel for its Anime Network subscription pay-per-view service. And one of their programming blocks was Old School, where they showed a lot of their older anime that they had in their catalog. And the guy who voiced the
Narrator?
was it, the advertisement for the programming block was just it's really passionate, and also he sounded like that essentially.
I see. But yeah, it was just absolute, pure, unadulterated ham. But with that being said, though, we're going back to what you youngins call ancient prehistoric time, aka
So
the
it's
90s.
technically the first oh, never mind.
Oh no.
70s and 80s.
Yep, and basically anything that's below 2000. However, as we always do on these episodes, Erica, do you wish to tell everyone at home which anime they should be watching this
Well, to be
week?
fair, this week's anime recommendation from me is Ghost the Sweeper Mikami. You can find and watch the entire series on Toei's YouTube channel. It wasn't really the North America, at least in the US, wasn't able to see it up until the 2010s. But places like Latin America were able to see it right when it aired, and it is a really big. It has a large fan base in Latin America. In Italy, its name translates literally to Lady Ghostbuster or Madam Ghostbuster, which is pretty accurate considering the main driving plot, aside from Mikami wanting to obtain more money, is that she works as a ghost sweeper, which essentially goes around fighting and banishing and sealing evil spirits.
Nice. And
Okay,
also, I
what?
did see a
Why does Spirit always like say that? Is that just
because
how they say hello?
because she is quirky like that. I remember.
Thank you. Thanks, Alex. I really like the greetings and salutations. hmm
Well, but yes,
I remember Grimm Fairy Tale Classics. Oh yeah.
she
hmm
does it because she's quirky. But anywho,
Eh?
quirky.
Okay.
Yes, not like other girls, that kind of shindig. Now,
Okay.
with that being said and done, so first and foremost, what do we constitute as a, classic? Well, that's quite simple. We are going back to when everything is below the year 2000, meaning Dragon Ball, all
Funny.
the way to, Robot Boy.
You mean Astro Boy?
Astro Boy, what the fuck? Thank you! Blah! Man, I am a professional, ladies and gentlemen. So, anywho, now.
I think there is a quip that could be made there, but I'm not gonna do it.
I mean, if
Did
I
mention Ghost Sweeper Mikami when I'm talking about specific series from the same publisher. Oh, very nice.
I mean, in all fairness, if I had, an editor, I would definitely make sure to, have someone edit a quip right there, like, ha ha ha, whatever. But anywho, with that being said, so, first off, let's go with the obvious, the one that everyone in the Brother knows about, that's known throughout the world.
Slayers. Slayers.
I mean, to be fair, yes, but in all technicality, sadly, that is a niche.
Record of Lodos War.
I was going more
Dr.
so,
Slump.
no, well, in technicality, kinda sorta, but Dragon Ball Z, the classic, and it's one of the anime that basically gave rise to other mangakas to take notes on how to make their own manga.
Also, essentially, I think Funimation mainly got their big break by dubbing and distributing Dragon Ball Z.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, I believe.
hmm
But with that being said, though, we have a thing where Dragon Ball Z is not only a classic, but it's a manga slash anime that we all know about. We all remember running home.
One Piece and the Naruto.
We all
Oh
remember.
yeah, technically One Piece would fall under that. It
Mm,
started in the 90s.
uh,
In the mid 90s.
true, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's kind of like, ongoing. Meanwhile, Dragon Ball
I see.
Z
I
is.
see. It needs to have finished its run. I
Yeah,
see.
because I can.
Uh,
I'm more so talking about the classics that we've said bye to, but though they still hold up to this day. Don't get me wrong, One Piece is also an all, but it's still going, and I'm pretty sure 20 years later, it will still be going.
I'm pretty actually Oda did say that he's about where he's like in the
Okay.
ending.
Okay, how many times has Oda said that he was going to be about done with the manga,
We're
only for
wrapping
it to
up.
be, years and years later?
Yeah, technically Dragon Ball is still ongoing.
Well, I mean,
She is the one named Sailor Moon doing
but,
something.
but though, anyway, basically got Dragon Ball Z, which was made by, of course, the legend, the man himself, Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace, King. And he, made Dragon Ball Z something that is phenomenal. It's still talked about to this day. There's other mangaka that have been inspired by hell, not just mangaka.
Oda actually, I'm pretty sure, was inspired by Akira Toriyama to make his own manga, which was One Piece.
And not just that,
I might Okay.
Not
Thank you.
just that, but you also look at Western animations where how many times
There's
have you seen?
also Dragon Quest.
Oh, oh yeah,
Dragon
yeah.
Quest. Dragon Quest's entire art style is inspired by Akira Toriyama's art style. Art style.
Yeah, we definitely can't, look down on that
I mean,
either.
I haven't played a Dragon Quest game, but I'm familiar with the series.
Same here, same here.
I
But
know that there was a running gag that is referencing a certain scene from the Dragon Ball manga.
nice. But though,
Uh,
technically DB is well, no technicality yes, but also no, because like Dragon Ball Z, it's it's done. But though,
Technically, Dragon Ball Z is just Dragon Ball. It's just there was a large time skip.
hmm but
So technically, it's just Dragon Ball. And then
but
Dragon Ball GT is essentially the equivalent of those series where the manga is still being worked on, and so they decide to make their own thing.
hmm
And then when they do season two, the next season, they're like, "Ah, shit, we have to retcon a bunch of this." Kind of like
yeah,
Record of Lodoss War.
yeah, because it's like Akira Toriyama did not expect to use gods in his work until Super rolled up, and then well here we are. But
Mhm.
let's not dwell too much on Dragon Ball Z. Just remember that this is kind of the classic, the OG, the big boy of all big boys, and it's the one that inspired many mangaka and even Western animators
Bella,
as
how
well.
dare you call me and not the other girls I was referencing, Aina
Yes,
and
yes, I
Yuna.
know, Sith.
I think she was referring to me, actually,
Oh
in
no, no, no,
regards to the. Hmm?
I don't know. She was referring to me, but but anywho, as I was saying, so not only do we have that, golden classic, we also have Sailor Moon, which also does deserve to, be praised too as well. Granted, we all kind of know why a lot of people, more notably males, don't really talk about Sailor Moon, even though I'm not going to say it is or isn't, but isn't Sailor Moon kind of the birth of all magical girls?
No, that would be Minky Momo.
Ah, okay,
Actually,
okay.
technically, I think it would be cute. Hold on, actually, hang on. Minky Momo, when she got canceled, they decided to make the last episode of Minky Momo being hit by a truck carrying Kamen Rider merchandise, just to rub it in who was responsible.
Mm,
Um, and actually, during that time, Japan got hit by an incredibly violent earthquake.
mm.
Eh,
Well, but still
Oops.
though, it is a, anime.
Hang on. Google, was Minky Momo the first magical girl? No. It was Sally the Witch, from 1966.
Oh, wow. Okay, okay, okay. So, well, to be
Wow.
fair, while I didn't know that, knowledge is important, so, glad to
Mhm.
hear. But still though,
But
is
yeah,
it?
Magical Princess Minky Momo. There's also Creamy Mommy, who is a girl who for okay, so I know this name sounds weird, but apparently the main character's family owns a crepe shop called the Creamy Crepe, and that's why the show's name is Creamy Mommy
Oh my.
or Creamy Mommy.
But though,
The match,
but
yeah,
but anywho,
Magical Angel Creamy. Oh my gosh.
but anywho. but you still got Sailor Moon, something else to kind of praise. Granted, well, yes, that other, animes, slash manga was the birth of all, magical girls. We in the West at least got to know Sailor Moon, and for us anyway, the first magical girl series. And truthfully, I honestly think it was, pretty good. Granted, ignoring the localization, the butchering, but other than
Literally, they translated everyone's name literally. So Usagi-chan's name is literally translated to bunny, which is very awkward.
and I mean not just that, but don't forget Uranus and Neptune were cousins.
Oh yeah, Yuri not allowed, but Alabama is okay.
Yeah, I want them to make that make sense to us. Like, make that make sense. But
Anyway,
we'll save that conversation for when we talk about the, BS censorship or some crap. But anywho, but no,
censorship anime throughout the years.
yes. But though, again, Sailor Moon deserves to be praised. And also, a lot of Toonami. Like, Toonami also deserves kind of a shout out because here in the States.
Toonami helped a lot of people discover some series that they would normally not find out about. Like Cardcaptor Sakura. I watched that on Toonami. It was essentially my I don't it was, I didn't really realize it was a magical girl show. I thought it was like a 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo type scenario. It's like, you open this book of tarot cards that had these monsters sealed in it, so you have to go and capture all of these cards and put them back where they belong. That's what I thought it was about.
Well, I remember Cardcaptor Sakura on Kids WB back when Saturday morning cartoons were a thing.
Kids WB yourself.
But
sorry. I think it was the Pokemon movie or some video cassette tape where they just played an advertisement for Kids WB. So when you said WB, I was like, oh crap, now I have that sound stuck in my head again.
But going back to Toonami though, yeah, Toonami helped us, basically become who we are today.
Apparently they showed Submarine 09, and I really liked the show Bobo 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 Bo. I watched it almost like religiously as a kid because I did find out that they censored a lot of the earlier episodes. And when I saw the uncensored version, I was like, why did they feel the need to censor this?
Well, I mean, you gotta remember, censorship is funny. Not the ha-ha funny, mind you. But, like, you look at 4Kids as censorship with the whole...
Oh, yeah, it was not that level of censorship.
Oh, okay. But let's not, derail the whole censorship.
It was Pokemon the first movie, I know, because I had it... Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I also had Pokemon the first movie.
Yeah, we had Pokemon the first movie, and then we had the second Pokemon movie recorded on our VCR.
But though, again...
VCRs were able to do that. You'd have like something you want to watch, and you'd record it on a blank VHS tape.
Yes.
I actually had the first... I'm gonna say 5 or 6 episodes of the Pokemon anime recorded on this one VHS tape. I don't know where it is, though. I'm sorry.
Oof.
Sorry to say.
But though, again, Toonami's what helped
I guess
all of us.
The original Pokemon anime would be, considered a classic, as well as Digimon.
Oh yes, yes. Right. But first, like, let's go with
And
let's
I
go with
remember saying Bobo was anime John. Uh, maybe if Johnny Bravo was into cross dressing and fought people with his nostril hair, and had a sun shaped rock candy man as like a blueberry jello man as like his sidekicks.
yes, but going with Tsunami though. We had, of
Mhm.
course, the OG, the big boy, Dragon Ball Z back in the day. We had Sailor Moon. We had, Hamtaro,
We
which.
had Dirty Pair.
Hmm.
Dirty Pair was one of the first animes to reach the West, and
Oh,
it was yeah, yeah, it was for one of the first animes that was um, translated and subtitled, and then passed around in conventions or shown at
nice.
conventions. Hmm.
Nice, nice. But though,
Yeah,
and oh, we also had like of course, when Adult Swim was good, we had the whole like Cowboy Bebop, which you cannot.
Cowboy Bebop. I honestly prefer Outlaw Star, but Cowboy Bebop. Oh yeah, I prefer Digimon over Pokemon.
In all fairness, like I do
Mhm.
kind of agree with that. Where like Outlaw Star is hella cool.
Mainly because with Pokemon, the Pokemon once the Pokemon changed, that's it. They're stuck like that. But with Digimon, they can digivolve to their ultra powerful state, but then they can revert back to their like regular toyetic state. Like
Yes,
Agumon Warp Digivolve to War Greymon, and then after fighting, he reverts back to Agumon. Mm.
but anyway, so
Tentomon
but then with Outlaw
Digivolve
Star was
to
pretty awesome as well, and
Kabuterimon, and then
Cowboy
to
Bebop was
Herculesmon.
somewhat
Yep.
decent. However, I will say that again, back then the voice acting and also some voice actors actually
Voice
act like
acting
they.
was much like today, was kind of a coin flip. You might get a spectacular dub, but you also might get a terrible dub.
Mm,
Because back then, folks didn't really give a shit about anime.
mm-hmm. And also,
You'd have to
let's
get
be
a
real. They don't give a shit about anime today. They just like it because it's
or they
cool.
yeah, it's mostly because like Hollywood types see anime and they think, oh, it's just like them kid cartoons, and they're like, and I'm like, um, Chainsaw Man, you think you would actually? Chainsaw Man is an anime where a guy grows chainsaws out of his arms and cuts people
And all
with the
fans gotta remember,
chainsaws.
here in the West, blood and gore is a-okay, but side boob, think
And he
about
also
the
screams
children.
how much he loves Booba. It's like,
But anywho,
I fucking love the. Okay, that is a very. I enjoyed the Chainsaw Man English dub, except they kind of messed up the whole. I am a uh, perpetual motion machine. It's like, oh my gosh, I slice you open. Drink your blood. I can do this forever. I'm a perpetual motion machine. He was fighting the Eternity Devil,
ye.
just in case people need context.
But
Uh, let Kala finish. I'm sorry.
it's okay, but
What the fuck? Oh wait, that's Ghost Story. Yeah, that is a perfect example for really terrible dubs. Essentially, it was the first instance of a ADR director or a localizer deciding they are that they can make this story better than the original creators. 'Cause
mhm.
they in order to justify why they changed it, they're like, oh yeah, in Japan it also didn't do that well, and then we find out it did really well in Japan, but they just yeah, it's just fucking annoying, irritating.
Yeah. I also find it hilarious how they felt the need that they had to censor the Kushasaki owner, aka the slit-mouthed woman, because they thought it would be offensive.
Offensive for what? People
So,
with surgical scars?
yeah. Basically people
Is
who had cleft lips slash palates.
that's vertical, not horizontal.
Oh no, the Kushasaki, this version of the Kushasaki owner did have it, straight up, basically, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I'm
Gotcha.
sorry, but I'm gonna be real with you. As someone who has
Mhm.
had a cleft lip and palate, I did not find this offensive. It's like, okay, and not just that, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't a jab at anyone that had it. I honestly cannot stand individuals who wish to, speak
Okay,
for
we've
others.
kind of gotten off track.
Yes,
We were talking about classic anime.
yes, yes.
Anime.
But anywho. But
So,
though, you look at Tsunami though. Now, again,
mm,
Dragon Ball Z, amazing. You also had Yu Yu Hakusho, which was also
yeah,
a
okay. We're talking about a guy named Yu Yu Hakusho, not
show.
Yu Yu Ha,
Show. Hakusho.
a
Hakusho.
sash, like an over like a cloth that you drape over yourself called Yu Yu
Yes.
Hak.
Yes, 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 you. Yes, but anywho.
Sorry,
Now,
sorry. It sounds like you're saying Yu Yu Hakusho
yeah, I'm gonna
instead of
say
show.
show. Yeah, I'm gonna say show. That was on me.
Yeah,
But yes,
sorry.
yes. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. While, yes,
Mm,
Dragon Ball Z is a classic, it is the ultimate, it is the greatest, etc., etc. And, you got awesome fights with Saiyans, with aliens, Frieza, Cell, Majin Buu, all of that. I will say I
mm, mm.
love Yu Yu Hakusho's battles and stuff much more.
Spirit gun. I can only fire this thing 3 times because I think it anymore it like actually starts to hurt his like soul or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that why? Okay.
I kind of forgot what it was, but like no, not just that, but also at least all the characters, except for Cool Boy,
Who am I
at
gonna
least
fight
did
this time?
something.
Let me get the
Cool
shit.
Boy, the dumbass.
Yeah. No, he's the delinquent.
Well, yeah, but he was the
I
dumbass though. Like he
uh,
lost every tournament due to his own stupidity. Like he literally ran off the stage to chew out Yusuke, and it's like, dude, you had a like
yeah.
I think he only won a few of the fights. Meanwhile,
Mm.
Dragon Ball Z, yes, cool, awesome, and everything like that. What were the Z
Yamcha
fighters doing?
kept getting in this weird fetal position for some reason.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Yamcha, he at least tried. Chaozu, on the other hand, was absolutely pathetic. Like, all he did was try to,
I mean,
blow
oh,
himself up on.
shout.
He tried to blow himself up on
You
it,
mean
and
the Emperor?
no, Chaozu, the little mime dude that follows,
Yeah, he's the Emperor.
wait, no, no.
Yeah, he's apparently either he's an emperor or an actual fucking king, or maybe prince. Hold on, is
Wait, just so
Google
we're clear, the dude that looks like a little Chinese toy that follows Tien
is
around. Who, for whatever reason, by the way,
Chaozu
Chaozu's a grown-ass
a
man, and yet Tien holds him as he's
prince?
5 years old. I'm sorry, that was always just disturbing.
Chiaotzu, a prince. Okay, he does have. Hold on, what is? Okay. Okay, let's see. Biography. Okay.
Oh yeah. Alex, I do know that. Like back in Dragon Ball, the Z fighters could actually do something. They were actually worth a damn. But like in Dragon Ball Z, though, they just
Well,
kept getting L's. Like,
that is essentially because Akira Toriyama was like, okay, so through original Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama wanted it to be a gag comedy manga with some fighting and martial arts fights. He noticed that a lot more people liked the martial arts fights rather than the gag comedy. So when Dragon Ball Z came around, he focused more on the fighting than the gag comedy. So a lot of characters who would have contributed to the gag comedy and stuff got pushed to the wayside, essentially.
and hi, Abyss, welcome. And yeah, you're thinking of, Pilaf. Pilaf, the emperor dude who was nothing more but a comedic joke. Chaozu was just this...
apparently Masashi Kishimoto is a fan of Akira Toriyama.
Ah, nice. But again, at least when you look at Yu Yu Hakusho, the characters at least...
I really hope Masashi Kishimoto is able to live in it, have a much better living condition. Sorry, in one of the early Shonen Jumps, he basically gave a floor plan of his apartment, and there was like dead plant, dish, sink full of dishes, and piled up garbage bags in this one corner, and then he like has a futon. I'm like, wow, damn, dude, you live like this?
But though, like I was saying though, at least with Yusuke's team, everyone except for Kurobo actually did something, and the fights were awesome as hell. I mean, yeah, Kurobo only got like a few fights in, but that dumbass always lost in the most easiest and pathetic ways.
Hold on. Wait, no, what the fuck? I didn't say that. I was talking more about... No, I was talking about... Chatsu.
Yes, Chaozu, yes. But anywho. But no,
It's possible that the reason Yamcha got T-powered was maybe he wasn't as popular as the other characters.
I mean, to be fair, the same goes for...
I bet you the reason why Akira Toriyama brought back Piccolo was because he was like a fan favorite, and people were like, "Oh, yeah, bring back Piccolo, please."
Well, the same thing with
like,
Vegeta.
Sure.
Like, the reason Vegeta was supposed to be a one-off character, but yet the fans liked him.
Everyone loved him, and Akira Toriyama was like, "Okay, I'll try to work him back into the story." And then he met Bulma.
Yes.
Who basically he told him off, like, and then gave him a pink shirt and saying like, wear this.
But then, besides those actions, though, again, we got Outlaw Star, which was, hella cool.
And how in most of the shonen series, the fights are always 1v1. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I understand that.
To be fair, I do like that, because it gives each of the characters a moment to shine, as opposed to, it basically being a Royal Rumble. Because, like, I kind of like that format. Where, in my D&D sessions...
Abyssal Tech said he dislikes that.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry that you, dislike it.
Like, the fate of the Earth is at stake, and all take turns fighting the main villain. Yeah, the planet Namek is about to explode in, like, 5 very long minutes. And so let's each take a turn fighting Frieza.
Like, this planet is going to explode within 5 minutes.
And by 5 minutes, I mean 5 episodes.
And it's like... And I know a lot of people try to say, oh, well, they were going super fast, so, that's like, they were fighting within seconds. It's like...
Actually, I'm pretty sure Bobo makes fun of the whole time limit, but the time limit doesn't make any sense. It's like, I'm Denbo. No, wait. Denbo, I think, is like an hour. I am Boba Pachigler. I can only be in this form for 1 minute. And it's like 10, 13 minutes, maybe max, in the actual show. It's just so funny. Yamcha bitched about losing Bulma. I'm like, you mistreated one of the hottest women in DBC, so... Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But anywho, now besides of
Mhm.
course, Toonami, we go to the late night Toonami, and I don't know if it was just me, but wasn't it like
Tsunami at night.
yeah, like there was like two Tsunamis. One that was after school, and the other was basically, at 12 at night or whatever on the weekends or something. And it had,
I think
basically.
there's... Hey, can we talk about Evangelion? Evangelion?
Yep. I was trying to, get to that, but it's like, the.
Okay.
But
I
hold
mean,
on,
to be fair, Evangelion also, I think, appeared on
Toonami.
Toonami.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, first, I also want to throw this since we all talked about classics and we said Toonami. Let's also not forget that what the hell were they even doing? Mizuki, I think it was called, the replacement of Toonami.
Oh, Maguze.
Yeah, that.
I did not understand what that was supposed to be. I didn't know it was supposed to be a replacement for Toonami.
I mean, that's what I kind of thought it was. I mean, I could be wrong, but
It didn't even have any anime on it. It just had French cartoons that looked like anime,
alright, Totally
and then
Spies.
yeah, Totally Spies, Code Lyoko, and yeah.
Oh, well, scratch that part out then. But,
hmm
but anywho, well, when you look at WB, there was only, of course, Pokemon. And you go to Fox Family or Fox Kids?
The Fox Box.
No, I think it was Fox Kids, where you had,
Poor kid.
where you had Digimon, Digital Monsters, which I guess
Hmm.
say that was my first. I will agree that
I
Digimon
thought
is a bit
Digimon
more
was also
hardcore.
on Warner Brothers.
hmm But Digimon
Okay.
is a bit more hardcore than Pokemon. And then you had
hmm
Sonic X. Which, to be fair, Sonic X was also pretty good.
hmm
However, though, let us not forget the abomination that Fox Kids decided to do with the Japanese and French cartoon characters. Have them sing the motherfucking national anthem as if they have any business singing
Yeah,
it.
that was incredibly weird.
I know, it's like,
It's not a placement for Toonami. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying.
wait, what? Yoga was awesome. Oh, oh yeah. And before they actually do team up on them,
Lyoko was awesome.
I just didn't like it.
They
It
literally went into a video game world and then fixed the real world and reverted it to they were like, return to the past now, and then reverted to the
I
point
just
in
didn't like it.
time where the bad stuff started to happen and they changed it. It's like, oh,
I just didn't like it. It insisted upon itself,
is
Louis.
it because that the characters had really large foreheads?
Yes, and
Is
also
that
yes. It just looked off.
and let me guess, the CGI was a bit jarring? Is
Oh
that it?
no. I mean, to be fair, remember I grew up in the same time
Is it
period,
because
so.
it was French?
Whoa. I do not have a problem with the French. They make a
Yeah.
good la cheese and, other French foods.
Name me one French food.
Uh,
Actually French made food.
okay. La,
And don't
shut
say
up and stop asking questions. Now then, as we can.
croquet monsieur.
La, shut the fuck up and let's continue. So, as I was saying.
Croquet monsieur is like a French version of a grilled cheese sandwich. It is soaked in butter and is oozing with heavy cream and custard and cheese and stuff.
And yes, Spirit, I have a problem with you people. But anywho, Frodo.
Hmm.
Now then,
Anyway,
let's talk about Gundams. I'm gonna be honest with you, Gundams were never my thing. Granted, I did like Zoids, but Gundam itself wasn't really my thing, and
I personally prefer Full Metal Panic
mm,
and Evangelion
and
and
oh look, a nice
uh,
segue to talk about Evangelion.
okay. So,
Ooh,
Evangelion. So, for a while now, a lot of OVA people, folks who made OVAs, would say that OVAs allow you to do just about anything without having to worry about television like censors and stuff. And then comes Evangelion, which essentially changes all of that. You have characters dying, you have blood, you have characters screaming, like, being all like, what? You have experimental stuff, you got, yeah, you essentially have a series that airs on television that is doing all the things that OVA directors claim only OVAs can do. Not to mention, there is a lot of wonderful characters in Evangelion. Do you know how much merchandise Evangelion produces?
I'm going to say a lot.
Hmm. I, There is a bullet train. A fucking bullet train that is made to look like Evangelion Unit 1. You have some... hold on. Gundam is my thing and Abyssal. Okay. You have sundresses. Yeah, they have... I don't know. They might have sundresses. They have pajamas. They have sundresses. They have luggage. They have bread, canned bread. They have coffee. They canned coffee. They have toasters. They have coasters. They have bicycles, motorized scooters, I believe. They have Gunpla model kits. They have helmets. They have so many things.
Mm.
It is essentially the OG Star Wars um of Japan. You know, like old school. Like originally, Star Wars had so much merchandise, like just like crazy. Specifically, you have a redhead and canned bread. It's a thing that exists.
Yes, just like canned
It
Thanksgiving dinner. And if you're from the
Okay.
1920s, there's canned
Specifically,
pig
you have a
brain.
redhead. Oh yeah, you have a redhead tsundere, German American, German Japanese American in a sundress.
Yes,
With
canned
mother
bread.
issues.
And to be fair, you'd think canned bread is weird, but yet America, we used to have canned possum, armadillo, pig
They
brain.
also have canned bear meat.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, it's like, is it really
I don't
odd?
know if that's actually an American thing. It might be Canadian.
Ah, Canada, with your boots and your moose and squirrel. But anywho, enough about the Canadians. Continue,
hmm
your, thing, Erica.
Oh yeah, but essentially, Evangelion was such a cultural phenomenon that it changed the anime landscape, and also caused people to spontaneously lose their minds because the last two episodes made no sense, and they were really irritated and angry. And Ano was like, "Ah, fine, fine, fine. I'll make an ending for you," and then decided to make End of Evangelion. And yeah, it still didn't really explain everything, but at least you had a more coherent ending than Shinji's floating in the void. Now he's not floating in the void. What are you doing, Shinji? how about we have you be in a regular high school, like, slice of life series? Do you not like that? Okay. Okay, Shinji finally learned to love himself. Everyone's on a small planetoid, and they congratulate him. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
Man, that sure was an
Yeah.
acid trip. But,
No, I'm pretty sure they were running out of money.
hmm. Well, okay. So is
You
that
have
all for...
existential end of the world philosophy and junk. Yeah, and also psychology. Like,
Uh,
that is like a huge thing in Evangelion, is like psychology.
no, jeez.
It's like,
In-
get in the robot, Shinji.
But
Parents
yes.
love you. Get in the robot. Friends show up when you. Aliens throw up when you show up. So get your butt in the robot, Shinji.
But yes.
Oh my. Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
But yeah.
Wait. The ending made no sense. No. I mean in the original series. In the original series, it was instrumentality, but from the inside perspective of what instrumentality was. Essentially, the collective joining of everyone's consciousness. No barriers or anything. Just everyone being this amorphous mass of various intelligences.
Mm-hmm. Now,
End of Evangelion was all of that, but from an outside perspective. Okay.
now that being said, though, now
Okay.
granted,
I'm sorry.
and to be fair, we should always respect, at least, like, I'm not a huge fan of Evangelion, nothing personal, it's just, I'm not really into the whole Gundam thing, but we can at least
It's not
respect...
really a Gundam thing. It's more of a. It's more of a. It's more of a. Oh shit! What is it?
Mech? I'm gonna say mecha.
Yeah. If
I-
you want to call it mecha.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Gundam, I'm gonna say mecha. That's what I meant to say. But don't get me wrong, it's cool and shit. And also, I love that, that also was a cultural phenomenon. Same thing with, Dragon Ball Z, where it still talks
Tell
about...
Erica about the idiot who removed the creator signature from. What?
Wait, what?
Eh? What?
Hold on, what?
Happened?
So, alright. Tell Erica about the idiot who removed the creator signature from a book. Oh, crap. Crap, I forgot who... Like, I know who you're talking about, but I forgot at the moment. Crap.
Hi, Cola. Sorry I was late. I took a nap. No biggie. No need to apologize. So long as you are here, that is all that matters.
Yes.
Better late than never.
Yes, something friendship and all that smooth jazz.
Okay.
Yes, but anywho, now other than that though, now besides the 90s, we can also jump into the 80s with Speed Racer. However, though, I think no one really knows or cares
Go
much
Speed Racer,
about...
go.
Just throwing this out there.
Giant robots,
Another little fun fact for you. I just learned this about today, but apparently Wacky Racers is huge in Japan.
That makes sense.
Like in Little Witch Academia, there's two characters who are always together 24/7, and one is...
Immortal Ooze and Collective Conscious Thing sounds horrifying. Yeah, that's why Shinji decided to reject instrumentality and caused a loophole so if anyone wants to become human again and leave the collective consciousness, they can. An idiot got an art book for Gundam, and I believe with the creator of Gundam signature, and the idiot. What the fuck? That is fucking that. That is really dumb.
yes.
Sure, the creator's signature increases the value. You have essentially decreased the value of a product, of a thing. That's also a pretty nice thing. You know, you get to you open the book and you see the creator's signature, and you're like, yeah, I met this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I met this guy at a convention. He looked dead, like just emotionally drained, but I managed to meet him, and also got this his signature. Sorry, a lot of times when I meet really famous people at a convention, they look emotionally drained. To be fair, that was mostly because one of them was Chewbacca, the actor for Chewbacca, and the other was I don't remember. So
Mm.
I assume it's mainly because he was very tired of people talking about Star Wars. He was his eyes lit up when my dad asked him about his other work. I was like, because he's like, oh my gosh, finally someone's interested in something other than Star Wars.
Yeah, but anywho. Now, besides that though, to be fair, if we
Mm-hmm.
do it now. Do you know of any other like classic manga or anime that has inspired generations of mangaka to this very day? Because
I believe the hold on, let me look his name up.
because we got
Create
Evangelion, we got
of Ghost.
um Dragon Ball Z, of course. What?
Masamune Shiro.
Mhm.
Actually, his apparently Akira Toriyama was a fan of. Oh my god, was a fan of his.
Mm.
And a lot of his. Hold on. Actually, let me double check this. Masamune Shiro, Akira Toriyama.
As a new speed racer. Oh
Okay, was
no. There's sadly
a
no new
fan
speed racer.
of.
I think people care about. I think people care about Speed Racer. They did make the next generation series. Oh, nice.
Okay, hold on, let's see.
Oh, Ghost in the Shell, Chew it. Yeah, Berserk. No.
Yeah, yeah. So Masamune Shiro made Ghost in the Shell, Dominion Tank Police, Appleseed, and hold on, works of. Okay, Ghost in the Shell, Dominion. Yeah. Mostly he did cyberpunk and dystopian, like post-apocalyptic future manga.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he made Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost in the Shell is also still talked about to this day. Same thing with
Yep.
Berserk. Now, with Berserk, you want to go with the original, the best, because I forgot what it was called, but the CGI one was said to be the most atrocious. And my uncle who was Gen
Mhm.
X. Oh wow. Okay then. Spirit. The
My
my
uncle, who is Gen X, loved speeder. Oh yeah, the Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, that guy. He also
yes.
made Dominion, which is one of my favorite series.
Mm-hmm. And oh, by the way,
Okay,
speaking of which,
Voltron is awesome. My dad has a a complete Voltron figurine with like the old school all metal figures. As I don't know if he still has it or if it's like in like storage or something. But I do know he has one, or had one.
nice. And
Hmm.
to be fair, now, when did, oh, hey, Kara, I just got a magic carpet. Ah, nice. Congrats.
Magic
She's talking about,
carpet in the Dreamlight Valley. Oh, nice.
yeah,
Very
yeah, yeah.
nice.
But but other than that, though, when it comes to manga or anime that still be talked about to this day, again, you can never beat the classics: Berserk, Dragon Ball Z, all of them. And not just that, but some of them they still hold to this day. Some mangaka and even Western animators are still being inspired by these old classic animes to this very day. And and I'll kind of wrap it up here. But in conclusion, you can never beat the classics. No, true classics never go out of style. You got classic music.
Even even when you have a shitty company decide to make a shitty live action remake where they don't actually give a shit about the original series and just want to push their own ideas onto it because they think that they are much better storytellers than the original creators.
Hmm.
Even when that happens, the original series is still a classic.
Yes, and just like with most things, you can never beat the classics, whether it be music, whether it be movies, whether it be what have you.
Even with a rebuild where you are forced to put a new character and completely derail and kind of uh, make certain scenes seem that were very important to a certain character. Shit, hold on. Make a rebuild and kind of insert a new character and then also remove a lot of the interesting background of a character that made them interesting and unique. Mm.
Hmm. And
Even if you do that, there's the original series is still beloved.
yes,
Mm.
because like you got Dragon Ball Z, that again still holds up to this day. It's
I
still
kind of want to watch Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Daima.
mm. Now I've heard a lot of the fans talk poorly about Daima. Like
That's mainly because a lot of Dragon Ball Z, modern Dragon Ball Z fans are haters of a certain, like, basically they don't like the old they're haters essentially
mm, I see.
of a certain style of story of character design, I guess.
Mm. But with that being said, though, just remember if you any, I mean, you also look at Dororo, and Dorohedoro, two different manga slash animes, by the way. And even Tokyo Mew Mew, they still even get new reboots to this day. Tokyo Mew Mew came out, I believe, last year, if I'm not mistaken. Meanwhile, Dorohedoro was a few years ago, and Dororo, I think it was at the same time as Dorohedoro. But either way,
um According to Kala, the cutoff point is when it goes to when it if the original airing goes into the early 2000s.
yes, it's gotta be 1999 and below.
Hmm.
But with that being said, though, ladies, gentlemen, this
Hmm.
has been fantastic. In conclusion,
Thing I wasn't fan of Daima was turning him into I mean that's fair. That's a fair argument.
mhm. But
Hmm.
in conclusion, you can never beat the classics. Go watch them, and even if the voice acting is not the best, always remember that these are still classics that you and
Hmm.
I and everyone still love to this day. To always
I mean,
respect.
sorry, I was responding to Abyssal Tech. To be fair, I also kind of found that really weird uh, in Dragon Ball GT when they decided, let's turn Goku into a kid again. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he turns Super Saiyan 4, he becomes an adult, his regular form again. So it didn't really make sense, other than the joke of Vegeta diffusing with him and then finding out that Goku is turned into a kid.
Yeah. But now,
No, it's not that they're haters of the old Dragon Ball. It's just that the series is just stagnant. Oh yeah, I gotcha. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. So they did. Okay, so there's a phrase. There's like this thing that this one person coined, where when you're out of ideas for a series, you eventually turn them into kids or babies or something. Like with the Muppet Babies or Pup Named Scooby Doo, like that sort of thing. They essentially did that same formula, but for Dragon Ball.
yeah, and I'm sorry, but you can.
Does make sense. Super Saiyan 4 needs his adult body to compensate with it. Oh yeah. Oh, I still. I'm sorry, dude. Sorry, guy.
But yes,
Sorry,
do you
dude.
have any conclusions, Erica?
You cannot beat the classics, but also you don't really need to fight the classics.
Yes.
The classics aren't even a boss type enemy.
But okay, so I hope you all enjoyed today's stream, everyone, and I hope that we both entertained all of you. And to remember that it is okay to enjoy not only the new but the old as well, and also never be ashamed of what you enjoy. Alright, everyone.
Bye
Bye.
and good night.